Hello once again, my friends. It's me. And it's time for another question. A question to be answered from the Am I the Asshole subreddit. I just realized that this might be the kind of thing that gets me in trouble. With censorship. But, I don't care. Whatever. I'm going to read whatever I want. They can get mad. This is from a throwaway account. And here is our question. Am I the asshole for refusing to let my stepbrother and his family live with me when I have a huge house, he is offering rent, and they have nowhere else safe to go? When I, 28-year-old female, was 10, my mother married my stepfather. My mother was a loving and involved parent to my stepfather's son. I hate using people's names, but let's just say what it says. It says Ben. Now, 34-year-old male. But not for me. There were pictures of my mother, my stepfather, and Ben all over the house, but none of me. They found any excuse to have, quote-unquote, family time without me. My mother told me once that it was hard for her to love me and look me in the face because I look so much like my father. Wow, what a fucking horrible thing to say to your child. My father was an alcoholic and a serial cheater. My mother and my stepfather would constantly make comments about how I was going to turn out as a failure/embarrassment just like my father. What the fuck? Holy shit. Ben was extremely cruel to me, and my stepfather only responded with his verbal/emotional abuse by telling me to respect Ben. My only familial support was my paternal grandparents. They supported me unconditionally. They helped me with college, and I moved in with them after graduation. My grandparents are now in heaven. I inherited their home and have lived there alone for 3 years now. I tried many times since graduation to talk to Ben about how his bullying impacted me. Ben takes no accountability for his cruelty towards me and only says how, quote, even if it was that bad, we were just kids. Or, why are you still caught up on that? That was ages ago. I hadn't talked to him in almost 2 years before he reached out to me through social media. Ben explained that his family are being evicted from their previous home. I'm not sure about the reason why, but apparently it's bad enough that practically nowhere is willing to accept him and his family as tenants. The only places willing to accept them is an extremely shady/dangerous area, and he feels it isn't safe for his daughter, who's 6. My mother and stepfather aren't an option, so he hoped that his family would be able to stay with me. I admit, it's a big house, 3 bedrooms, large yard, garage. Ben said that his daughter could take 1 room and he and his wife could live in another, and he offered me a sizable rent. I told him no, and that I really don't feel comfortable living with him again because of what he put me through as a kid. He made the same arguments about that was in the past, and that we probably wouldn't need to interact with one another because of our differing schedules. I told him no, and that was final. The people I've explained this situation to are divided. People are supporting my decision to say that Ben has never treated me like family, and he doesn't get to waltz into my life demanding familial support when he hasn't even apologized for his verbal/emotional abuse. But a lot of people are telling me to think about the daughter because my decision will have the heaviest impact on her and not Ben. And I should know more than anyone that no child should be punished for their parents' bad choices. Now I'm conflicted about my decision. Am I the asshole for refusing to let them move in? Ooh. That is a tough one. That's a really hard one. First off, just to go through this and be, the way that the parents in this situation responded to this is fucked. Really fucked. Okay, maybe the person you were with was, a horrible person. That's not the kid's fault. But to completely say, oh, well, you look like him, so you're just gonna be, this failure and embarrassment. Man, fuck off. What the fuck? What is wrong with you? That is just fucking evil. Especially to say that to a child. That is really fucked up. And then, of course, the stepbrother being this fucking, oh, well, I don't care. And it's yeah, okay, you were a kid, and kids do stupid, sometimes mean things. But now you're an adult. You're a grown person now. So take responsibility now. No one's gonna harp on you or, down on you forever because you were a kid raised around people who kept telling you that it was okay to be this shitty to someone who is, family. So I can't even hold you that super responsible for that, because you're a kid. And if your parents keep telling you this is okay, you tend to default to, well, I mean, they're adults, they know what they're saying, even if it is a really fucking shitty situation. And yes, at a certain age, you will get to a point where you're like, I don't know if I agree with that, but we don't even know if that, I mean, obviously, it doesn't seem like that ever happened, because in his mind, this was totally acceptable. So, yes, I can understand being pissed off at him. That's pretty fucked, yeah. Especially because he wouldn't even acknowledge it, like, oh, that was just so long ago. It's like, yeah, it doesn't make it any less awful, though, dude. It doesn't make it any less, like, kind of fucked up that you did that, though, bruh. So, you know, maybe at least say you're sorry. Maybe at least try. But it does definitely feel like, you know, oh, well, now that we need something, we're just going to move in. It's like, no, you don't really get to do that. You don't really just get to decide, well, now that I need something, you should support me. It's like, no. When you were not supportive at all from the get-go, it doesn't really fucking work like that. That's not really how people work. And as our chat is saying here, it is upsetting about the kid. It's very upsetting, and I hope that the daughter will be okay, but it does raise the question, if no one else is letting you move in, no one at all, what happened? What does that mean? What's going on there? It could be something as simple as, like, really bad credit. Certain apartment places are shitty like that, and they, you know, oh, well, you don't have enough credit, even if you do have the ability to pay them. It's like a thing. And sometimes certain companies that own this stuff, because there are a lot of corporations buying up houses, which is the reason why, you know, everybody's paying out the nose for rent and some people are homeless. Don't you just fucking love economy? I can see dealing with people like that, dealing with companies like that who only care about how much money they can squeeze out of you, being the kind of thing that might fuck you over in finding a place to stay. But it does raise the question of why the parents won't even help. I thought they were all about this. I thought they were, you know, oh, this is the kid we really like. Maybe they don't have enough room. We don't know. We didn't get that part of the story, but something tells me there's a little bit more to that, especially since he's leaning so hard on the OP and being like, come on, you know, you have this house, you have this, you have that, and it's like, yeah, it's theirs at the end of the day, though, isn't it? You still have to deal with that. And while I do feel really bad for this kid, because that is fucked up, I also cannot blame the OP entirely for being like, yes, my family was really shitty to me through my entire life, and I kind of don't want to be around them. Which, honestly, fair. Yeah, I can't blame you for that. That's fucked. And you shouldn't have to be around people that make you feel that bad. So, the only thing that's pulling this to a different direction for me is the state of this kid, is the worry about what'll happen to the daughter. But as for the rest of it, nah, man, you were an asshole, so you get what you get. OP does not have to put up with you just because, you know, oh, well, I need this now. It's like, yeah, well, you were still kind of a douche about it, so, you know, you get that. But what do you think? Tell me in the comments below this video what you think. I don't know, what am I off base, or is OP right? Or am I right? Or I don't know. Why am I asking if I'm right? This isn't my question. Is OP right? Or is it better to take in family even if you don't like them in order to help one person who is still very young? What do you think? And while you're doing that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Specifically comment, because that's how you'll answer the question. If you answer it only in your mind, I won't know what you're saying. Or will I? If you would like to support this channel, you can check out my merch store, which has a lot of weird stuff in there, and my Ko-Fi, which is pretty darn cool. It's actually better than Patreon. I keep saying that, but now it actually just kind of is. And if you have your own question or situation or story that you'd like to send me, send it to r/Moonhorse Stories. That is my channel, subreddit. It's not a channel. This is the channel. I'm good. And if you'd like to see these things being recorded, I do that live on my Twitch every Monday night. There's streams all weekend, but on Monday night, we do the recording thing. So come check that out. Either way, thank you all for being here. I love you all so very much, and I'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.